Hi, it's Amanda Creative Gardener. Well, it's bright and early in the morning and I'm going to take you on the tour for September. Let's go around the garden and see what's what. Come on, come with me. Okay, so I love this time of the morning when there's dew on the grass. We've just come out with Cole and he's having a play about and a run about. So, September, do you remember? So it's the end of September and we are going to do a quick garden tour to see what's what and how things are looking. So look, this was my small cotton plant and it's grown big and bigger. I don't like this one to grow so big because I'll show you how big it can actually get if you leave it. But it's got some buds coming out which will eventually turn into cotton. But it's also got, see, this is a normal looking leaf, but it's also got lots of leaves that have got holes in. So they've been eaten by some sort of worm or beetle or whatever. So my plan for this is to cut it right back and to treat it in some way. This is how it can get. So I'm going to stand beside it, and this particular one I cut it back in stages, so it was quite a lot of work the first time I did it. Hey. He loves it out here. So I'm just have to be careful here where I'm walking. So we're going to look up. There we go. So I cut this side back because it was all as far as this was, and I was trying to just do it a bit at a time. It took me about an hour to cut this back, and if we look underneath, these are all the babies from the cotton that hadn't been picked up and just left. So that's that. I don't know what to say about that. I can either just pick it up and mulch them or see how viable they will be as plants. My Scarvola curve, I was trying to get something going on here where it curved round. There was a flat bit here so you could sit, and this was going to be a lot smaller, the cotton plant. But as we walk around the garden, you'll see it's quite a bit, and I've just been, as I go onto one part, so as when I cut back this and then go onto another part of the garden, by the time I get back to this, it's all grown back. As you can see, I had cut this side as well so that it hadn't touched the house. So I'm gonna have to get onto that. One of the things I have managed to do, because we had quite a dry spell, is cut the Mexican sunflower so that I can bush it out again, because as you can see, you can actually see through it. As it grows taller, it seems to get a lot spindly-er. You get a lot of growth on top, but then no growth down at the bottom. So I want this as a living hedge. So basically all we've done, I managed to get my son roped in. He's been helping me sort of like an hour every other day. So as you cut the top off, it encourages the bottom to start growing, and we can see here where we've got leaves growing. So now this will bush out and but then also shoot up as well. What else have we got going on in the front here? I'm trying to create shade by planting trees, and a lot of the trees are going to get really tall. Like this particular tamarind tree can grow up to 40, 50 feet. So we'll see. We've got to be able to harvest the tamarind. So I'm going to have some trees that are a lot taller to create that kind of, you know, the different canopies going on. And some of them are a lot lower, like I've got the frangipani there, another one, and that's not going to grow that tall. I mean, all the trees, you can keep them to whatever size you particularly feel. So this was the one that we found here when we moved, and this is as tall as it's ever got. I've never had to cut the top off of this particular tree, but it's frangipani tree, but it's spread out. So they spread more than they gain height. But I think this is probably as tall as it will get. But I want to have at the front quite a few more, and quite a few more of the other varieties. And when I was doing my research, I found that there are some even more amazing colours, sort of like every colour under the spectrum that you could think about. So the frangipani hornworm has done quite a job on this, and there is some sort of rust underneath the leaves going on. So again, treating it, still got some there that haven't yet found a place to hide so that they can change into a moth. But treat it. What I've noticed here is that wherever the leaves are, it seems nothing else really grows apart from this it's like a creeping plant, and but wherever its main roots are is not near where any of these leaves are. So normally I'll treat it with the Mexican sunflower, and that's what I'll do this time round, and then just cut some of it back, and then replant some of the cuttings. So yeah, I've got the tamarind growing here quite nicely. I can't remember the name of this one, but it's grown quite nicely. I've got quite a few of them going around, and they have it's a pink flower. Going on here. Well, we'll come to one and I'll show you the flowers. Anyway, so we've got a papaya tree here, and I noticed that it's actually grown some buds, so it might be a dwarf one. It's like, oh, how great is that? This is my pomerac. It's starting to settle in. It's got some leaves going on there. It's quite good. And a fly that wants to be a resident. And I've planted some more scarvola around here because I want the scarvola really to take over the job of providing a kind of hedge-like feature. And I did put some around there, but they didn't really take very well, so I'm going to have to do some more. Let's go down the back. Oh, this is my guinep, or ackee tree, as they call it in Barbados. So we call this guinep, and we call this ackee. So this is Jamaican ackee that you have to cook. It's poisonous to eat raw, but this is coming on beautifully. I got this as a gift from a friend who gave it to me. Shout out to Frank and Carleen at Deebles Point. If you're ever in Barbados, make sure you take a trip down there. They've got beautiful art gallery, grounds, cafe, restaurant. Carleen cooks, so they both own the place, and Carleen manages and cooks in the restaurant. Her cheesecake are absolutely scrumptious. Anyway, so yeah, Frank had given me that Jamaican ackee plant, and it's growing quite well. This is my soursop. So I've just noticed some leaves have been eaten. There's some ant activity going on, so it looks like there's some sort of pest on there. You can probably see, if you look, where am I looking? There. can probably see. Yeah, I'll come in a bit more. So those disc-like things, or pests, and I think they milk them. Milk them or extract some sort of juice out of them. So I would have shown you my broadleaf thyme hedge as well. This is coming on. Wherever you lay broadleaf thyme, it makes it its home. And there's very poor soil, mostly gravel and limestone on here. There was no soil. There was no soil placed here. It was just like rocks and limestone, and I literally just threw them there, and they're coming on. So it grows in abundance. I hate throwing plants away or getting rid of them, even the weeds, but everything has a purpose. So, you know, even if it's to extract the juices from the plant and use it back into the garden, I want to, you know, make sure that everything has its use. The only thing about, you know, you can't chop and drop this because it will just grow in place. So if you want to utilize it in that way, what I found is, yes, as I say, soaking it, extracting the juice, and then, you know, the plant won't grow after that, but you extract the juice and then use the pulp as mulch. I want to build a gate here. So again, this is all broadleaf thyme and things that I've, you know, Mexican sunflower that I've chopped down, and I want to just build a little gate here and you know, like a little archway. So I'm going to need to eventually put a plant that's going to set down some roots and grow, you know, like these trees, like these particular river tamarind. They're also known as ledge trees. They grow as fast as weeds would grow. They grow really quickly. They've got hundreds of seeds in those pods there, and in each pod there's at least 10, and they germinate really quickly. So let's go around here. Sun's coming up. I really do like this time of the garden, this time of the morning, and you may be able to see the kind of dew on the grass. So over here we've got a lot going on. We were in need of a grass cut, so got to wait for the guy to come. That's one job I'm not taking on. So here we've got some more papaya. These don't seem to be budding as the other one is, the other young plant is. But that's okay, guys. Just do your thing. Because we haven't had much rain, we haven't had much problems with slugs and snails. They're still around, so whenever it rains they do come out. But yeah, that one isn't growing as fast as it would normally. I've got my little this had water in it, and then it corroded at the bottom. So there was a hole in the bottom. So what I've done is place it here so that I can use it like a compost bin. So I've just been putting, you know, like the food cuttings, food scraps, and then just layering it with the. I'll call them weeds for now because I don't know their names, but I know that they have a purpose. Every plant under the sun has a purpose. These are growing really well. I would like them to grow in other places, and I have tried to move them. Let me give you a better look. But I haven't been able to identify them yet. But they grow and spread out. So I don't know whether they're another variety of the persane, but and if they are, they'd be edible. If they are edible, it'd be nice to be able to see. I'm also waiting to see if there are any flowers that come with it, because if I can take a picture of the flowers, then I can get a better idea of what they are. And then we've got an overabundance of the dandelion. again, I can't use everything as quickly enough, and there's some really lovely leaves going on, really big leaves. So, dandelion tea. I wish I could make soap as well. So a lot of these things would, that's probably the next thing I'm going to do. A lot of these things would go into the soap. Hey, he's having a brilliant run around. So let's go around here. All over the garden I'm trying to create paths and curves. Looks like a spider has decided to cast its, you won't be able to see anyway, but yeah, so that's one of the things, and like areas where it looks kind of calm and peaceful, and I'll show you some of the other places we have. This is Mexican sunflower red. It's very unruly. That's all I can say about this. It's not like the yellow variety, and yeah, I mean, lots of flowers, but they don't last very long. But it's beautiful, aren't they? They're very pretty. Okay, around here, this is the well, and here we have ivy gourd. They are edible, but very bitter. I don't know what they're like with the red. The red might be a lot better when they're red. That's when they're, you know, just coming into like red, maybe ready to harvest. They're very soft. But a guy online did a recipe with them, but the green ones definitely bitter. Okay, we're gonna go this way. Again, to watch where I walk. My little fern gully here. Again, I'm trying to create shade around the place. It loves shade. So create some shade where I can then transplant these. All of this needs to go. But let's go this way. Mind your step. I need a little bridge there. I've got a pallet I'm going to make into a little bridge like this one. But I didn't make it, I just threw it down. Just like this one. Got the little bridge. Yeah, so... Okay. So again, creating paths and areas that, you know, look inviting. This looks nicer at night because it just looks, I don't know, it does look nice at night. But over on this side of the garden, we do have a lot more shade. So we've got the moringa trees. These are my neem. I've got 2 neems and they're establishing themselves really well. And again, they can grow up to 40 feet. So I said to this one, this can grow to its heart's content. The other one on the other side, I'm going to maintain because I need to be able to access the seeds and the leaves. Yeah, so then over on this side, let's have a look. My neighbour had a big tractor in clearing the grass. He had some monstrous elephant grass growing. It was just, all of this was like, they were so tall, and look how, oh my gosh, wow, look at that. The soil would have been really rich. He's got very rich soil over there, so to plant stuff, his mum used to do a lot of gardening and planting stuff, and the stuff used to be really massive. But wow, I didn't realise he'd cleared all of that. But when they clear, we get the mice. So it's just like we're going to have to, over the next few days. Anyway, let's get on. Don't want this to be too long. So again, plants that I haven't yet identified, but I allow to grow because I want to see what they eventually come out to be. I'm hoping that this is going to be some sort of fruit tree. Who knows? Again, yeah, just areas where it looks really quite inviting. And we've got the red Mexican sunflower here trying to take over. I'm putting my hand in front like that because of the cobwebs that the spiders insist on doing across the paths. So I thought I'd just let this grow until I can maybe take a cut in and plant it elsewhere. See how it does when you take a cut in. It doesn't behave as the yellow. So yeah, we'll see anyway. But here are my other beds, which I'm established now. But once we get the grass cut, we've got a lot of grass that has grown. Then I can put it more along the paths, and then they'll be sorted out. It's just that we had, everything just kind of grew really quickly, and you become overwhelmed. And it's, as I say, it's more than one person's job. So by the time I've raked and then moved the grass, then it started to grow. So I've got another spider along here that's decided it wanted to make its... I say to them, go on this side, you'll catch many more flies. So look at this papaya. This one's having a hard time. And, even as big as it is, it's... there should be fruit by now. I had at least 6 here in this bed and in this bed. And they were just eaten by the slugs and the snails. And before I could get to grips with it, it was just like it was too late. So this is the last one that survived. But they're very easy to germinate. So around here, I'm again trying to create another area. Let me go into the position where you can get a good... Spiders, come on guys. Okay, so when you come here, I like this. Okay, minus these bits and minus this whole area kind of like shaded. So we've got clementary growing. So I planted one here. Cole! In! Come here! So I planted one here, and it's actually done quite well. So well, in fact, that it's grown up and over there. And we've got another branch here. But what I intend to do is cut some of this back, this tree and the mahogany tree, cut some of the branches back, just so that I want to allow the clementary to grow because I like the way that it grows and it kind of provides a canopy. So this is one that we've got to the side, and look how I like this. So it's almost like, I don't know, but this is what I want. This particular branch here, I'm going to cut off because I want to make is it an arbor? Making an arbor? Yeah, anyway. So I need one for one side that's going over, and maybe I can actually just plant clementary, really, because they actually do grow well from cuttings. So you have one on one side and one on the other side, and then they meet in the middle and just allow them to grow like that. So but I wanted to make it from the wood, because what happens is, anyway, the neighbour cuts these bits off, the bits that are overhanging. So it's just like I might as well get the bits that are overhanging and utilise them myself, rather than they're just gonna get dumped. So let us move on. So September, we're having again, this is the rainy season, but the rain hasn't fallen. We haven't had as much rain as we would normally. It did rain last night, so things are slightly damp, which are nice. And again, things are really growing. Oh, look at this red plant. I'll show you. If you come along here, you can see where I walk back and forth. This was having a really hard time at one point, and now it's kind of just shooting up. I don't actually like it. I didn't like it here, but I wasn't able to move it in time. It had grown quicker than I thought it would. I had taken cuttings, but they haven't yet survived, so I need to work out when best to cut it and how to look after it so that it can grow. It does have a problem with the stink bugs. I have sprayed it with some of my organic spray that I made with cedar wood, so it's not as the one up at the front of the house. They had quite a large infestation of are they called scale insects? I'm not sure, but they laid their eggs on the side of the branches. This, oh, let me show you this. This is another lovely area that I want to show you. So again, I'm thinking, the curves and the paths, and I want it to be curved so that you just get a feeling of just kind of like a never-ending adventure. Oh, now I love the way that this looks. It's still taking work because I'm trying to lower the remove some of the soil here so that it's more even, but yeah, it's going to come round. And this is my moringa patch. See, I've got another clemencherry tree growing, and I can even with this I might be able to get like this particular branch growing over and create like an archway, and again give you some shading. Look at the, I don't know whether you can see the glistening of the grass. It's just looking really lovely. And I have to sit back and say to myself, look at this, you did this. Every single plant you could see here, apart from the frangipani tree up there, the big one, you planted. And obviously the birds have helped, so I'm forever grateful. Noni. I never expected the noni to fruit. There's been lots of fruit. Come off the noni tree. But it gets taller. But yeah, again, I was surprised. It obviously likes it here. And so I'm just encouraging it. This area was going to be a circular area, but the noni tree's taking up a lot of space. There was a space that you could walk around there, but perhaps I'm just going to make it into a half circle. And you'll have these trees growing here, the papaya. So let's go again this way. I think there's probably just a few more things to show you. We've got my moringa patch. This actually is very a shady area because we've got the there, I think its local name is a shak tree, which is tall, and that as well grows really tall. So can you see that spider there? Looks like a spaceship. Anyway, I'm not going to disturb it. But we've got my moringa patch. Again, I wanted to create a flatter area by digging away some of this soil and moving it. And then we've got my banana patch behind it. We'll go around this way. It's so nice when the grass gets cut because you just feel in control again. I managed to replant my sapodilla. It's a sapodilla. Oh, you see that dragonfly? Anyway, so coming this way, we've got the banana patch, and some of the banana plants I've got to move. because there's like at least 11 growing there, so I want to give them space. And pomegranate. I guess this is my pomegranate patch and my coconut. So everything's kind of growing slowly, even my lemon. So you come around here. This was having a hard time. It's been eaten by something. I could never catch what it is. There was like a citrus blight going on, but we weren't able to. Yeah, I was just like, you're on a budget. How do you deal with it? See what you can do naturally. Again, as I'm saying, paths. Once this is cut, you see the true beauty. And again, this way. So I need to think about a plant that will kind of shield and not have this over, where you can see over. Oh, again, that's established itself nicely. This was, I laid down some of the grass cuttings from last time, and it's kept the grass down really well. So I can kind of like in half an hour just pick these up. This is takes a bit more work. But you can see again the banana patch, the moringa patch. I guess this is the the pomegranate patch, because there's at least 5-6 trees here. And oh yeah, that's what I was going to show you. That just kind of, again, you can't see it. So next month's video, garden tour, you'll be able to see the paths more clearly, because they'll be cut and I would have laid stuff down. But it's coming on, and you just have to take your time, and that's what I've just been doing. I have to just accept the fact that you can only do what you can do, and you've got to be proud at every moment, because you can sometimes look at it and think, oh gosh, it doesn't look like the beautiful gardens of the tropical gardens doesn't look like the tropical gardens. And you have to remind yourself that these places have teams of people who are looking after it. Who's that little fella up there? I'm not sure whether that's the baby, because there's a little nest in here. I don't know whether I showed it to you last time. I think the baby's come out. Anyway, there's lots of spiders. I don't know what is this with these spiders. There must be so many flies out here. Piece de resistance. Do you know what this is? I did a video of it a couple of weeks ago. Sugar cane. So they're coming up quite well. I'm proud. Very proud. I've always wanted to grow sugar cane. But again, I've got to keep an eye on them. Whether they're either getting too dry, they're being ate by something. So I'm going to have to look and see what kind of pests will attack the sugar cane. With every plant that you introduce, there's going to be pests that are going to, try and munch on them. But what happened here? Anyway, guinnep. I'm going to call it guinnep because we've got ackee. We've got ackee in Jamaica. Our ackee is the one that you cook. So I think I've done a whole full circle. I'm not going under the house. I've got some new plants going on in there, and oh look, something is eating it. I found a couple of the green hornworm on here eating the leaves, so maybe that's the pest for the guinnep. Let's see if you can see. The thing about the hornworm, you have to stand still and look at it for a few minutes, because they're very good at disguising themselves. This is another lovely plant that I have. It flowers quite, not profusely, but it will bring these out and then flower I'd love to get a few more going on around the garden. You normally see them around the beach. Let me show you my corn. This is what's left of the 11 things of corn that sprouted. And again, I need to kind of have a place where they're going to be. I was planting out so many things at one time. It was just like, I put these here, the rest of them were out there, and they died and was eaten. Okay, so this is another great place. I like sitting here. I like sitting here and looking up there with a cup of tea. Well, no, not really. I just like sitting out here. I just love it. So that's the garden for September. Hey, Cole. Hey? That's the garden for September. He's all soaked. There's still places where the grass is really tall. So he's had a field day. Come on, we're going to go in. Let me show you, last but not least. See, this is the idea of, kind of growing. These are my tires, as you can see, and I've put, this is black sage. I've just literally cut this back. I need to cut it back, right back. It has these little moths. And they lay their eggs underside of the leaves. And also you will be able to see, it's like a white powder that they leave. Well, that's their eggs. On the branches. And so I've cut some back. It turns black, or it turns really dark once you cut it back. But I'm gonna cut this right back, and then usually what I use is just soap and water and a little bit of oil, either neem oil or cedar oil, and I just spray it. But they come back. They seem to love the black sage. This is a plant I was saying to you up at the front of the house, and it has, I can't believe that none of them have the yellow flowers, but these are the seed pods. They usually have green seed pods, and then they open. Actually, I do have another one here. Let me show you. You see? No, there's that one there. I got them all over the place. Okay, so last but not least, okay, plantain. Look at that, look at the, it's so nice to have the leaves not shredded like this, but it does it for a purpose, so that, the plant can still survive. And I've tried to create some barriers with plants up there, because the wind will come. That's east westerly, and that's how they've kind of got shredded. So by creating some sort of barrier, you protect the plant. And then here, this is the other side where I'm working as well and trying to establish a kind of feeling. This is the elephant's ears, courtesy of Janine, friend who used to live here. She's now in Florida, so she can see the elephant's ears is doing really well, and she gave me so many of her plants. A lot of them are doing well and at the front of the house, but this is an area that, again, I'm still trying to establish. I like this. There seems to be a natural arch forming here, so when I can put in I'm going to put a deadwood hedge in here, and as I say, I'm putting plants here that are not necessarily on the fence because it's my neighbour's fence, but that will grow and will keep out, just provide you with some privacy. Huh? So just along there by the tyres, I've planted this same tree, which grows really well. It's got like an orange blossom aroma from the leaves. So I'm growing a hedge here. So that maybe, I don't know, maybe this time next year they might, or maybe even sooner, they'll grow bigger. And some of them have shot up, so maybe they're getting more water than the others. But yeah, this grows really well, and I've cut this back many times, but it does need a really good pruning at the moment. And the branches, some of the branches I would use in the studio, they're really lovely to work with. And here's another little spider. They're all over. They seem to have had a field day. Anyway, this is a mahogany tree. And yeah, this area, again, is still under construction. Lots of things to do. But this is where some of the plants start before they go out, because it's just so near the house. And I've got some little things going on in there that I'm going to put out. Hello, Cole. My Pride of Barbados. I've cut this back quite a few times, but I'm going to have to cut lower down. But what I found with this is that you can take a cut in, so I can cut here and put it in the soil and it will regrow. So come back here, in. Where are you going? So some other little experiments. Oh, I did show you I've got a neem video coming out. Got lots of little neem trees growing. I put this in a pot to see how it would get on. So those are the cuttings that I made from the Pride of Barbados, and I have to find a space to put them out. I have already put out another lot, but where I put them they didn't seem to like, or they weren't ready, so perhaps I need to put them in their own pot first and let them establish before they can go out. We've got the ginger lily. I have taken a cutting from it which is elsewhere, but it's really temperamental. That's all I can say. So yeah, this is September. A little path there. I got some wood chips finally. This was getting really muddy, so I put this down, fixed the rocks, and it just made it really nice. Some dead leaves in there. The mahogany tree drops his leaves really quickly, so I've gathered up the leaves in there to go in the compost bin. Okay, so I hope that's been useful. Look, there's another neem tree growing. I'm gonna have to put them up. There's at least 30, and I think I explained what happened was my neighbour had given me branches and they all had seeds on, and I was trying to grow them then, but they didn't seem to take, so I just put everything under here. I just thought, oh, let it just decompose, and they have decomposed, all the leaves and stuff, but the seeds now have germinated, so I'm gonna have to sort them out. Yeah, so that's it, my lovies. My compost bin fell down, but that's for another day. Anyway, so I hope that has been useful. And let me just show you my bay leaf tree. It's coming on. My makeshift step. Got some different projects to work on. So here it is. It's doing really well. Some insect tried to attack it at one point, but I've got it under control. Yeah, so I'm trying to find something to end on that looks pretty. Look at these. My Pride of Barbados, The yellow flowers are so beautiful. Comes in a variety of different colours, and you are seeing the different stages there. When they go brown, they split open, and the seeds fly out, as you can see in one of them there. So I normally pick them and then put them in a pot and just allow them to sit in the pot and germinate. So I hope that's been useful. Thank you for coming on this journey, and if you've come to this far, I'm really, really honoured. Oh, look at the flowers. Moringa flowers, Barbados flowers. Lots to be getting on with. Take care for now.